What's up, everybody? My name is Cody Rattler, and welcome to episode 10, the final episode of the ultimate favorite Pokemon picker. Alright, we are finally here, episode 10. At this point, we've filled out all generations 1 through 9. We've caught up to all 1008 Pokemon. That's freaking crazy to think about. But now we have to figure out who is our favorite from each category that I've already picked favorites of. So again, we're going to start off with normal type. And these Pokemon are the Pokemon that I've picked from normal type. So this row is going to be my favorite from each type. And then we're ultimately going to boil it down to who is the all-time favorite Pokemon. So let's give it a whirl. Let's just dive in, shall we? Favorite normal type. We got Snorlax, we got Miltank, Slacking. We have, I was going to say Fleanshare, but Ambipom. Fleanshare is what I named it. We have Bot-Bot-Americano, Diggersby, we have Beware, Hisuian Zorua, and Lechonk. You know, I'm going to probably go with like my favorite design out of these. I think the Hisuian Zorua is so cool. Now, you guys have heard me why I like all these Pokemon. I'm not going to sit here and reiterate. If you want to go check that out, there's episodes 1 through 9 available. You can go do that. For the sake of right now, I'm going to go ahead and pick Hisuian Zorua. These Pokemon are great. They're all my favorites, but I gotta be dwindling this down. So we're gonna try to keep this moving at all costs. I don't want to sit here and linger too much on these. Next up, Fire. Out of all the Fire Pokemon I picked so far, Charizard, definitely up there. These are some heavy hitters. Fire type though, like Fire is so attack heavy. Whether it's attack or special attack, I just mean offensive heavy. All of these Pokemon are offensive beasts. All of them. Like, I don't think any of these are tanks. They're all offensive. So I'm probably basic to say Charizard. I feel like Charizard is supremely overrated, but it's the OG. It was my first starter Pokemon. However, I really like Darmanitan, really cool. I really like Talonflame, Incineroar is pretty badass. They're all great, but there are some here that trump others in my opinion. This is gonna be tricky. I'm either gonna boil this down to, it's probably gonna be Charizard or Darmanitan. And like, if I only looked at those two, I don't know if I could really ever say that Darmanitan beats Charizard in my opinion. They're so great, but like, I don't have that long-standing history with, like, I was 6 years old when I got into Pokemon. I got red version. It was amazing. And of course I went Charmander. I feel like I always pick Charmander. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Charizard. I'm picking Charizard. Favorite waters. Gyarados, got our Azumarill. I really do like, I mean, all of these are amazing. They're all amazing. That's the freaking thing. They're all amazing. Rotom Wash. It's probably the coolest water type here. I think, maybe. I don't know. What do you guys think? Azumarill, Rotom Wash. Sharpedo's cool. Sharpedo's been a favorite since I think it was Gen 3. Lafonda's in there. We got Greninja. There's a lot of really good choices. I mean, all of these are going to be my favorite choices because they're literally my favorites. Gyarados is another classic. I do love Gyarados. The fact that it has Moxie. This is one of my favorite Pokemon to use online. It's a lot of fun. Although, Azumarill is so much better in Scarlet and Violet. When I was saying earlier that Koraidon is like the #1 Pokemon I use, second to Koraidon is probably Azumarill. Maybe they're even tied. Azumarill is so freaking good. Huge power. But I really like the freaking washing machine. I love him. He's the dude. Little Rotom Wash. The best Rotom there is, for sure. That's hard. I think it's going to be between those three. Gyarados, Azumarill, Rotom. That is so hard. That is difficult. From fish to monster. I gotta chop it down. Chop it down to 2, and then chop it down to 1. I love Gyarados, but I think I'm gonna go either Azumarill or Rotom Wash. Azumarill is so viable. It's a really cool Pokemon too. Like, the design is a little Easter egg bunny thing. I love the little egg Pokemon. But then Rotom Wash, it's so cool. I don't know. I think I'm giving this to Zumi. I named mine Zumi. We'll go the shiny because it's super cool. I don't have the shiny, but it's an awesome like golden yellow. Yeah, Azumarill. I'm gonna give it to Azumarill. Man, that's kind of crazy. I'm like learning more about myself, thinking like these are my favorite of these types. I'm talking myself through this, so clearly yes, they are. Grass. Okay, so we got Vileplume, Blossom. I've got a handful of solid choices here. Who stands out among this group? There's some classics between these first two. I love Abomasnow. We have our Gorilla, the drummer. Trevenant's really cool. Decidueye is really cool. He's my favorite grass-type Pokemon. I might go Abomasnow. I really, really like Abomasnow. It was one of my favorites in the X and Y era, which is probably the most time I've spent in a Pokemon game. Yeah, let's go the Abomasnow. See, I'd ask you guys who are your favorites, but like these are my favorites, so I'd be asking you out of my favorites, who would you pick here? All right, yeah, we're gonna give that to Abomasnow. And then our favorite electrics. I freaking love Jolteon. That speed and then special attack is unparalleled rather. Ampharos is cool. Manectric, not really my favorite electric, but we're really limited in Gen 3. Luxray, let's go. Electros. Dedenne, Zorarua, Toxicity. And we also have our Iron Thorns, which is really cool. I think I might give this to either Jolteon, Luxray, or Iron Thorns. See, I don't think electricity when I look at Iron Thorns, but I mean it is, so I can't get around that. I don't know though. Do I like it more than I like Jolteon and Luxray? Probably not. I think I'm going Jolteon with this. Yeah, Zeraora is really cool. I chose this Pokemon. The fail trumpet. I chose Zeraora earlier because I love this Pokemon in Pokemon Unite. Other than that, I have no background knowledge on Zeraora. I don't know anything about the movie or the show that it's in, so I think by default I can't really pick it. It's a badass electric Pokemon. Probably one of the best in this group, but I can't really pick it. I might go Jolteon. Luxray's really cool. Iron Thorn's really cool. Jolteon's the OG electric for me. Giving it to Jolteon. Ice types, we have Articuno. We have the original Delibird. Regice, Glaceon. There's our Vanillix, Kendrick. Avalugg, our Crabominable. Frostmoth, Baxcalibur, my bad. Who do I like the most out of Ice type? You know, I'm trying to avoid legendaries, but I really do like Articuno. Pretty cool Pokemon. Regice is cool. It's just literally like a block of ice. Glaceon's neat. I love Vanillix. Crabominal's cool. Frostmoth is cool. I like Baxcalibur. I don't know. I think I'm finding that I'm catering a little bit more towards Gen 1 here. I definitely like Articuno. It's just one of the most beautiful and majestic, the most elegant. Baxcalibur and Frostmoth are really cool too. Not the fat crab, or you a jackass. No, I'm not picking the crab. I think I am going to go Articuno. Articuno, again with the OGs. Just call back to Gen 1. One of the best ice Pokemon. I mean, in my opinion, I'm going with the best ice Pokemon. What's next? Is this our fighting category? Who is my favorite fighting Pokemon? Y'all know that I love Lucario. I really like Conkeldurr. I'm not sure I like him more than Lucario though. Pangoro, awesome. Marshadow's really cool. I just told you guys that I love Koraidon. Not to skip out on Machamp trivia. I know you love Machamp. I know that's who your favorite fighting Pokemon is. I know you'd pick Machamp. Heracross and Hariyama are also really good shoutouts. Fighting category. See, this is much better than what we just saw in grass. These are some solid freaking choices. I gotta give it to myself. I know my fighting type. I know which ones are top tier. It's gonna be Lucario or it's gonna be Koraidon. I think right in this moment, with Scarlet and Violet, Koraidon is more viable to me than Lucario. I have Koraidon maxed out, ready to go. Lucario, I don't know that I finished it for Scarlet and Violet. I have like other perfect Lucario ready for battle, but they're probably tucked away at home. We still don't have access to that. I think I might go Koraidon. I love Lucario. I don't know. This is tricky. I think I'm gonna go Koraidon. Lucario is like very, very neck and neck. I agree with you, Horace. Lucario is amazing. Poison type, we've got Nidoking, one of the classic OG. Crobat though, Roselia and Drapion. I do like Toxapex. Weezing's probably not gonna win this for me. And Grafaiai, I love Grafaiai, but not my favorite poison. I think I'm gonna put this between those first two, Nidoking or Crobat. I really, really do like Nidoking. I feel like he's so slept on, especially in the first generation. It hits like a truck, and it can learn a lot of like really cool coverage moves. Ground and Poison is great, but I think my personal favorite out of this poison category is Crobat. Crobat's so cool. It was one of the original shinies that I'd found in the game. It was a Zubat. I evolved it into the Crobat. For shits and giggles, let's make it shiny. For the throwback, our pink and green Crobat is taking that for me. Ground type, let's go. So Doug Trio, not my favorite. It did win Gen 1, but it's not going to win this one. Donphan's cool. Flygon. Garchomp's cool. Excadrill, fantastic. I love Palossand. Sandcastle. You can make fun of them damn designs. We got the ice cream cone, the garbage. We got a Sandcastle too, okay? It's a pretty freaking cool Pokemon. Reungulus or whatever. I forget. Ranunculus or something. I mix it up with Ranunculus, the psychic Pokemon. And then we have our iron tusks. Or no, these are great tusks. All right, looking at either Garchomp, or not Garchomp. Yeah, Garchomp or Excadrill. One of those two has to win this for me. One of those two is taking this. Garchomp, Excadrill. So what's sad is that Excadrill did not make my steel category, so we're not coming back to it. And Garchomp didn't make my dragon category, so one of those two is about to fall off this favorite list. Who do I like more? Who do I like more, Garchomp or Excadrill? I think I gotta go the Chomp. I think the dragon takes it. I mean, it's a freaking badass dragon. I love Excadrill, but I think Garchomp is definitely more well received. We are going Garchomp all the way. Trivium knows. Trivium knows. All right, Garchomp. I'm sorry, Excadrill. You are one of my favorites in Gen 5. I love you, but, you know, Garchomp has to take it. Gen 4 trumps Gen 5 in this regard. Flying type. Let's see my favorite flying type. We've got Dodrio is pretty cool. Probably not winning. Skarmory's cool. Ninjask cool. Gliscor. Really cool. I don't know. Are any of these my favorites? Two cannons, neat. I'm like trying to have that process of elimination in my head, and I'm like, who stands out? Gliscor, definitely up there. Toucanon's really cool. I just love that design and the fact that we got literally a toucan Pokemon. Noivern's kind of cool. I don't think it's my favorite. I say kind of cool like it didn't make the list in the first place. They're all really cool, but I think for the sake of not sitting here forever and trying to struggle, I think I'm going to give it to Gliscor. I think it takes that slight edge. This is one of my favorite Pokemon to use in X and Y, and it was just such a troll setup. One of the best to battle with in my opinion, so we're gonna go Gliscor. I'm taking it. Gliscor. Who was my favorite psychic Pokemon? Generations 1 through 9. Alakazam is top tier. Espeon really good. Dang, this whole psychic category is some heavy hitters, just like fire. All very offensive heavy, with Orbital being kind of more on the beefy side. Same with Reunculus or Reuniclus. This is hard. This is hard. There's a lot of really good choices in here. Alakazam and Espeon, both neck and neck. Metagross is really cool. Gallade, ugh. Okay, let's see who I won't pick here. I don't think Malamar is gonna make it. I'm not gonna pick Raichu. I don't think Orbital wins this. I think it's gonna be within those first 5, the first 5 generations. I really like Alakazam, however, it's kind of too much of a glass cannon for me. Espeon can be the same way, very glass cannon-like. Metagross, though, more viable than just being a glass cannon. Gallade also really cool, and then Reunculus, awesome. When I think about it, it's gonna for me. I think I'm boiling it down to Metagross or Reunculus. I love Gallade too, but I think it'll be between those two. And Metagross is probably a little bit more physical, and there's not a whole lot of physical psychic moves. There are some, but it's also steel type, so it's got, you know, advantage of steel physical attacks. Reuniclus, however I'm pronouncing this, is a special attacker, and there are a lot of special attack psychic moves. So again, I'm thinking in the mindset of which do I like the most in battle? Which would I take out of these groups? If I were to go online and, you know, run with these Pokemon. Between those two, I might take Reunculus, but it's so hard because I love the first 5. I really like Gallade too. I'm struggling here. I'm struggling. I need to like phone a friend. This is awful. I think I'm going to give it to Reunculus. It's a really cool design too. Yeah, I'll go with the Reunculus. It's so hard because there's so many solid choices. I feel guilty for not picking them, but I only have one option. I can only pick one. Bug type, Scyther and Caesar. Of course, they're back to back. Armaldo, Yanmega. Ooh, we got Volcarona. We have the Arizona Pavilion. Shout out to those of us in AZ. We have Araquanid, we have Centiskorch, and we have Low Kicks. So I definitely love our Scyther and Caesar. I think they deserve all the love, but I don't see them winning over Volcarona. And I absolutely love Centiskorch. Both fire and bug, ironically. What a combo. It gets destroyed by rock and a couple of other typings, but still, what a combo. Do I like Volcarona or do I like Centiskorch more? I think I gotta go with Volcarona. I really, really like Centiskorch, but they introduced... A few
moments later.
They introduced Quiver Dance with Volcarona, and that made me just like fall in love with this Pokemon. I mean, the design is really cool. I love the typing, but like just having Quiver Dance, that increases your speed, your special attack, and your special defense all in one turn. Quiver Dance is so freaking good. It made Butterfree a lot more viable. This moth led to Butterfree being more viable. I just got to give it credit. Okay, favorite rock type. I love these rock type. They're all really, you notice how big these Pokemon are? Look at these guys. We got Tyranitar, Aggron, Rhyperior, Gigalith. I think Gigalith was his name. Tyrantrum, even Colossal and Garganacl. Like, all of these are really big Pokemon. Like, I'm talking thick. 2 Cs. No, 3 Cs. Thick. These are some chonky boys. Rock type don't mess around. For all seriousness though, I think this caters to one Pokemon and one Pokemon only. It's our T-Tar. Tyranitar is, I think it's in my top 5. Tyranitar maybe like pinching a win here for like the all-time favorite. I love these rock Pokemon. Tyranitar takes that. Does anybody else love Tyranitar here? Favorite ghost Pokemon. So this is where I probably struggle the most because I love ghost Pokemon. It might be my favorite type. Gengar, it's so hard not to choose Gengar here because I got Gengar tattooed. I love Gengar. I don't want to be like a basic bitch and be like, Gengar is my favorite Pokemon, but it's probably top 3, which is really hard because how do I not pick it here? Alternatively, the only other things that would like dethrone Gengar, I really like Chandelure, but probably not as much as Gengar. I really like Aegislash, and I love Mimikyu. Goldango is also really cool here, but I'm probably not going to take my favorite. I'm going to say between these 3, Gengar, Aegislash, or Mimikyu. This is so difficult though because who do I like more? Mimikyu is so adorable, but battle-wise, I'd probably use these 2 more. Gengar is really cool. However, I love Aegislash and I used it far more in battle, especially X and Y. The ability to go between defensive mode and offensive mode. It swapped the stats too. I'm sorry, Gengar. See, the thing is, Gengar is still in the other category, so it still has a chance to win my all-time favorite, but then I think about Ghost and I'm like, I don't know. Is it going to trump over Aegislash? Favorite Dragon. So if not Ghost, I think Dragon might be my next favorite category. These are all some really difficult choices. These are some of my favorite Pokemon. Clearly. Dragonite, Kingdra, Salamence, Giratina, Hydreigon, Goodra, Kokomo, Dragapult. So Dragonite, great. I love Dragonite, a classic dragon. Hydreigon's also really cool. Goodra's great. Dragapult is so cool. It might be my favorite dragon. Salamence, also up there. So I love Dragonite, Salamence, Hydreigon, Goodra, Dragapult. Those 5 are standing out superior here. How do I reduce it to 1? I think Salamence and Hydreigon are so good in their own right, but I'm going to exclude those here. Those are great online to battle. They're just freaking forces to be reckoned with. But like I think deep down I cater a little bit more towards Dragonite, Goodra. Ironically, they're both kind of shaped the same too. They're just thick dragons. But then Dragapult is so cool. Ghost and Dragon. I just told you my 2 favorites are Ghost and Dragon, so I'm kind of leaning towards Dragapult. I think in just that logic alone, I'm probably going to pick Dragapult here. Oh, this is hard. This is why I needed a tracker like this in my life, because I'm struggling. I like too many Pokemon to decide what is just my favorite, but we're almost there. Okay, Missing No is going to take my Dark type next. I'm just kidding. Why the hell is Missing No on this dang chart? I think Dark Gen 1 was just a throwaway category. Look at that. Tyranitar is back for round 2, though. Wait, how did... Oh, Tyranitar won my favorite rock and Dark in Gen 2. Let's go. Spiritomb is cool. Crocodile, really cool. I love Obstagoon. Yveltal's neat. Kingambit's neat. Nah, this is going to go between either Tyranitar or Crocodile, which is ironic because Tyranitar's already won one category. So if I don't give this to Crocodile, then Tyranitar is kind of taking the lead here. Tyranitar might win favorite Pokemon. I think I'm jumping up ahead of myself here, but like we're seeing a lot of votes for Tyranitar. Of course, this is exclusively my opinion and my votes, but like Tyranitar is coming up a lot on my end. I think all these dark types are great. Let's give it to Tyranitar. I think just right behind it for me would be Crocodile. Again, all great choices. Shout out to that muck. Yeah, let's go Tyranitar. Dang. Let's go T-Tar. Okay, Steel type, one of the best types to date. Steel type is the most defensive. It is just ridiculous in so many different ways. Shit's on Fairy, I'll tell you that. All right, Magneton, I'm sorry, but you're not making the cut. Steelix, I'm sorry, but you're not either. Mawile is really cool. I love Empoleon. Ferrothorn is great. Probably not my favorite steel type though. Klefki. Yes, I like Klefki that much. Yes, I love this set of keys that much, Kendrick. I don't want to hear it. I freaking love Klefki. And if you don't like Klefki, you're wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't get to experience the glory that is the set of keys. Why is it that some of my favorite Pokemon are like the weirdest, most obscure designs? Never in my childhood would I expected a set of keys being among my favorite. I would have thought you're crazy. I would have thought they would be animals only, but no, here we are. Inanimate objects, ice cream cones, keys, garbage. So Galio's great. Duraludon's cool. Tinkaton is also really cool. I think this is either going to go towards Klefki or I was going to say Segaleo because it's definitely one of my favorites, but I don't think that it can trump Klefki in my eye. Again, I've said it a million times in this series. I am so battle heavy, like when in my mindset, when I'm picking these Pokemon, when I think about who are my favorite, I don't go off of design. I don't go for cuteness factor. There's so many other factors that people weigh in on. I focus on which do I like battling with the most, and Klefki out of this group saw the most battle time. That Prankster alone, clean cut. Moving into favorite fairy category. So I'm sorry, Mr. Mime, you're not taking it. I'm sorry, Togepi. I feel like you guys kind of just made the cut, you know? Gardevoir is definitely up there. Togekiss is definitely up there. Katini, nope, sorry. Slurpuff, you're cool, but you're not my favorite. Ribombee, I love you, but you're not up there. Although the last two, Grimmsnarl and Iron Valiant, you guys might be up there for me. So it's going to be these four. We have Gardevoir, Togekiss, Grimmsnarl, Iron Valiant. Again, thinking about battles, Togekiss saw a lot of light. Togekiss is so good. Gardevoir is just all around, like through and through, has never not been good. But then Iron Valiant is like the newest, like coolest, most badass version. I think it's even cooler than Gardevoir. So let's go ahead and cross out Gardevoir. And then again, Grimmsnarl. He's also a prankster Pokemon, so he gets in that priority hits. Although they nerfed Prankster recently with Dark type not being affected by it. So I think by that, Grimmsnarl, you might be out. Let's go ahead and look at Togekiss or Iron Valiant. I don't know. I love Togekiss, but like something about that futuristic robot and again, chroming it out. I think Iron Valiant's taking my fairies. Let's go ahead and make it shiny too. There we go. 2 Iron Valiants. Look at that. It's just like a all silvered out while you leave the pink in there. That's pretty sick. Okay, who is my favorite starter Pokemon out of all of my favorite starter Pokemon? Charizard. I know we've chose Charizard earlier already. I don't know that I like Feraligatr and Swampert as much as Charizard. Torterra is really cool too, but I don't know if it's going to be Charizard. Greninja might be contending Charizard. It's a really cool starter. Had Protean, was the first to have it, I believe. Incineroar, also really cool. Cinderace, cool. Both of them having Cinder in their name. And then Scoldurge. I don't know, guys. I think I'm gonna boil it down to Charizard or Greninja. And once again, I'm A1 since day one, you know? I hate to be like chopped up as like a basic bitch, but like I do love me some basic bitch Pokemon, don't I? Charizard is my favorite starter Pokemon. I love Greninja. I'm sorry, Greninja, but I don't think you trump Charizard in my heart. You weren't there day one. I'm sorry, but Charizard's taking that. We are so close, guys. We are at the last 3 boxes. Who is my favorite gimmick form? Mewtwo Y, definitely up there. I use Mewtwo Y a ton. Didn't use the next set of gimmick Pokemon a whole lot. Charizard Y was really cool. I don't want to give Charizard Y the vote here because we've smothered Charizard with too much love already. Marowak, you're cool. Orbital, Gigantamax Orbital, you're cool. And I'm sorry, Tauros, but you're not winning this. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to Mewtwo Y. I think this one's like straightforward for me. I really do like that Rayquaza, really badass, but like, again, my mindset is who did I use the most in battling? Who did I like using the most? I think that is going to go to Mewtwo Y. It was basically just Mewtwo on steroids. It just made it even stronger. It kept the psychic typing. It enhanced its special attack even higher. I would use the Mega in any battle. I used it all the freaking time. Mewtwo Y is taking my favorite gimmick form. Second to last category. Who is my favorite legendary that we've picked? Again, I have a solid love for Mewtwo. Lugia is great. Kyogre's awesome. Darkrai's awesome. Victini's great. Yveltal, Cosmog, he's up there. I love that little guy. Zacian, really cool. And then there's this Koraidon. Dang. I have so much love for Koraidon. Like I just got done explaining to you guys, Koraidon has seen so much use in my current Scarlet file. Do I like Koraidon more than I like Mewtwo? I'm such a Gen 1 like stan. I will fight for Gen 1 tooth and nail. But do I like it more than Koraidon? See, on one hand, we have such a like history with Mewtwo. We got that first movie where Ash had to like square up with Mewtwo. Ash died, and then the tears of all the Pokemon brought him back to life. But then there's Koraidon, who I haven't really seen in like a movie or like that backstory. I've only had that, you know, that game connection, and it is very fresh because it's the most recent game. I think I'll lean Mewtwo. I've picked so many Gen 1 Pokemon in my favorite categories. I love Koraidon. I love it, but I think I'm gonna go Mewtwo. All right, y'all, the time has come. The time has come. What Marina has been waiting so long to know. What Marina wishes I could have just figured out before I did any of this. I could have just not wasted any of her time. Marina and so many others are so confident in who their favorite Pokemon are. But the time has come. I've got to boil this down to who is my favorite all-time Pokemon. I'm so happy that we finally got to this point because I needed to know this, you know? I needed this in my life. I needed to know who is my favorite. 10 hours into this freaking chart. And you know what? It's been a freaking glorious 10 hours. Let's go! I wouldn't have it any other way. Would I do it again? No. People like Ariant that are like, oh, I filled it out multiple times. I'm like, you're crazy. Why did you do this multiple? It's a one and done. All right, let's go ahead and start digging in. Who are my favorite among favorites? So if you guys hadn't put 2 and 2 together, this is taking everybody in the far right category that I picked as my favorite per gen. And then it's also taking everybody in the bottom right, or the lowest category that we just ran through, who is my favorite of each type. So it's bringing it all down to that far bottom right corner, and we have to decide. So these are all the options that I've picked on both of those categories. Honestly, I think there's some that already stand out among the rest. I think I can boil this down to probably like 2 or 3. Gengar and Tyranitar are absolute must-haves. They are definitely up there. I freaking love Aegislash. I think it's definitely gonna be up there too. I gotta say Charizard's received a lot of love from my end, but I can't fully commit to saying that Charizard is my favorite. I would feel even more basic if I said Charizard was my favorite. Looking at you, Mr. Pikachu over there. Let's go with Klefki, just to spite Trivium. I'm kidding. Okay, Gengar, Tyranitar, or Aegislash. Let's rope it down to those 3. I know that these are among the top 3, I would say. So my logic, Gengar I've loved. I got a tattoo of Gengar. I also have a tattoo of Nidorino, only because that was the first initial battle that any of us got to see, but Nidorino's not my favorite. Gengar, on the other hand, definitely up there. Tyranitar, I gotta say, Tyranitar might take it, because Tyranitar has won multiple categories. Like, if we were to just count up who showed up the most, it might be Tyranitar. Although I have a very, very deep love for this kingly Sword and Shield combo. Why this Pokemon wasn't in Sword and Shield, I'll never know, but it was in X and Y, and to this day, one of my favorite Pokemon to use. I think I'm giving this to Tyranitar. Oh my god, it's so weird to say it. I think I'm giving this to Tyranitar. I love you, Gengar. I love you, Aegislash. You're both chef's freaking kiss. But Tyranitar though, he's the pseudo-legendary, is like one of the best pseudo-legendary. Got that Sandstream, can be built in so many different ways. So good, it's always been good online. Holy fuck! Holy shit! Tyranitar, my all-time favorite. I think that means I need to get a tattoo of Tyranitar, yeah? What do you guys think? Shit fire. Holy fuck, we made it through it, guys. Holy crap, I made it. I finally finished the Pokemon tracker. Thank you, each and every one of you that have stuck through this series, whether you've been around and you've been supporting the channel for a while, or you're new and you picked up from seeing this series. This has been the most fun, the most engaging series. I've said it a million times already, but it has been a blast. Just being able to communicate with everybody, hear what your favorites are. We landed on Tyranitar. Can you believe it? I feel like deep down inside, I probably knew it was either going to be like Tyranitar or Gengar. But here we are. It's Tyranitar. I'm happy that I went through this entire tracker because I really didn't know. But holy crap. Thank you to everybody who's watched even up to this far in this video. Any of the other episodes, I very much appreciate you guys. I will squeeze one more bonus episode out of this. We'll do the bonus chart at the bottom. We'll fill that out for episode 11. Up until now, we've reached that climax of this content, this series, if you will. We finally found out who my favorite was. And with that, I hope you guys had fun. Make sure you fill out this tracker on your own if you're into that. Let me know who your favorite was. And I guess I'll see you guys in episode 11, our little bonus goodie episode. Thank you guys so much for this series. It's been a blast. I'll catch you in that bonus episode. But until then, my friends, adios.